Howdy y'all. Have another item I purchased at a museum my best friend and I went to, and it's very interesting. It's weapons of the American Revolution. Let's get to it. So as y'all probably know by now, I love studying weapons throughout history. It's really unique, very interesting. I've always loved it. I just find it fascinating. Wars, it's just always fun to study about, and I like learning about the weapons, the development of weapons, why things were changed, why things were implemented, taken out, etc. It's just a lot of fun for me. So I picked this up at the Independence Hall Museum at Knott's Berry Farm. It is Weapons of the American Revolution. It is also made by the Historical Documents Company, just as the past few videos have had items from them. It's really neat. It's on the reproduced on antique parchment that looks and feels old. It does, so that's really cool. And again, it is $2.49, so it's not super expensive. It's just really cool to have. And it's going to have pictures and descriptions of weapons used in the war. Some interesting facts. The flintlock musket could fire only about 4 shots per minute. Now, I have understood that those that practice a lot and became very efficient with the weapons get about 6 rounds off. I may be mistaken, but I believe it is 6. George Washington outfitted his soldiers with 6-foot spears named spontoons. And so it is interesting, sometimes during the Revolutionary War and sometimes even during the Civil War, there were certain regiments or outfits that had either lances or spears called spontoons, or they would also have pikes. There was a specific instance in the Civil War, I believe, that Union forces were given rifles and their pikes were taken away, and there was a battle that they're charged by cavalry, and they really wish they had their pikes, but they didn't, so they suffered more casualties than if their superiors had let them stay with their pikes. Now, we all understand the reasoning that warfare is changing, and pikes, spears, it all seems like it can be just taken out, because once you have gunpowder in there, it seems irrelevant. Sometimes it does come in handy. Not all the time, but sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and open this up. So we have, this is really cool. I love the sound, just like on the other ones. Just the sound of it sounds really unique. And yes, if this were really old, I'd be taking much more care of opening it. I still don't want to tear it because it just sounds old and I don't want to take the risk of tearing it. There we go. We'll try and open this up a little bit more. There we go. Without breaking it. So, weapons of the American Revolution. So we have our British musket. It is known as Brown Bess. Charleville musket. American-made pistol of the Revolution with brass mounts and maple stock. The Colonial. We have Cavalry saber. And that type of sword worn by George Washington. It's a little bit straighter. And we have British military pistols. The light dragoon model is this one, and the heavy dragoon pistol right here. American spontoon. The pole would be about 6 feet long, and the end in a pointed ferrule. I believe that's how you pronounce it, ferrule. I think the E is almost a UH sound, but I could be mistaken. It could be ferrule, but I thought it was ferrule. So we have different cartridges here for our cannons. Black powder was a mixture of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. We have grape shot. Carcass. Carcass consists of iron balls, sometimes filled with powder, wrapped with highly inflammable material and tied in a bag. And cannonball, a sphere of iron. So this, it almost looks like grape shot, but it would be a lot larger. It would be similar to this size if you're using it as a cannonball. So we have 8-inch howitzers mounted on its carriage, a mortar on its bed, and a 6-pound gun on a field carriage. So howitzers are similar mortars. It's kind of in between a mortar and a cannon. It is artillery all the same, but howitzers are normally shorter barreled, and they're made for arcing it more. So cannons are more direct. Mortars are a lot of up and down, and howitzer is somewhat of an in-between. It depends on what era, what country, what time and use it's being implemented for, but howitzer is almost an in-between. It is a cannon that shoots it out, but it's a lot of up arc. So that's something that a lot of folks, they think it's just a howitzer, it's just a cannon. Normally a field cannon is not a howitzer, and howitzer is not a field cannon. It's all artillery, just as mortars, but there's different sizes, different grades, different types, and it's all what type you're talking about as to what it's used for and what it would be best implemented for. So I love this stuff. I would like to have this out on the board. I'm not sure where to put it yet, but there's plenty to read on these. I find it really unique, fascinating. For $2.50, it's very cool to look at. I'm thinking about putting it somewhere similar to the board that I have my battle maps that my best friend gave me, but I'm not sure where to put this. I don't know yet, but I have all these in one spot, so when I find somewhere, I can maybe either tack them up. I don't want to tape them because it does feel old, and I don't want it to tear because it does feel old, and I can't get over that. Even if it doesn't tear, it's just, I don't want to. Those of y'all that handle actual antiques, y'all will know what I'm talking about. Even if it's not really old, but it feels like it, you don't want to do anything to mess it up. So I'm still thinking about where I'm going to put these, and I'll be keeping y'all in the loop on those. So if I find somewhere to put up, I'll have it on the channel. But it was an absolute blast going with my very best friend. I love picking stuff up like this because it looks really cool. It describes history, different things that we don't think of or we don't get taught in schools nowadays. At least when I was in school a while ago, none of this stuff was taught. It was all other crap. And I never got to go over history like I want to, or paper currencies as the prior video, or paper coins, excuse me. Just different stuff that's fascinating, unique, rare and unusual facts by today's means because we just don't talk about it. It's not out there. So that's why I like putting that stuff on this channel, different little random facts, unusual history that's not talked about. So I hope y'all enjoy. We got more videos coming up soon. I'll see y'all in the next video.